How we doing today, guys? It's Jesse with the Common Man, Corpus Christi, bringing news and politics through a common sense lens. Today we're going to talk about yellow stars, a trucker shortage, and the Christmas Parade Massacre that happened the other night. But before we get started into all of that wonderfulness, by all means, please go check out our Creator Spring store. Our little Creator Spring store has t-shirts for the shop. T-shirts for the podcast, including the one I'm wearing today, which is the Fauci Duplicitous Dwarf. So if you want to help support the channel, go over there and check those out. So let's go right ahead and get into the news. So I said trucker shortage, yellow stars, and the Christmas Parade Massacre. Let's start with the trucker shortage, because I think the trucker shortage is probably what's going to end up affecting us the most. So this comes from Election Whiz, which I have found to be a very reliable source for news and information on on Twitter. So we're going to check this little video out right here. So basically here, watch. The CEO of American Trucking Association says 37% of the association's drivers not only said no, but hell no to Biden's vaccine. I'll leave a link to this. I'm going to try to play a little bit of it real quick. I don't know how well the desktop audio is going to work, but we're going to give it a try and see how it goes.
Mandates. What kind of reactions are you getting from them on that? Just all of them required for a vaccine to do business?
Yeah, I want to be clear and qualify this, that this isn't about being pro or anti-vax for us. We've been moving the vaccine, PPE and test kits. So this is something our industry is very forward-leaning on. But in our sample survey of our fleets, it came back as 37% of our drivers not only said no, but hell no. Now, let's just...
Hell no. Not just no, but hell no. Okay, 37% of the truckers they surveyed said not just no, but hell no on that. Okay, so that's going to lead us into our next story, right? So right now, we've got truckers that are flat out saying, now we know from, if anybody that's been paying attention to the news knows, we've got massive issues with the current transportation system in the United States. The supply chain is screwed. We've got stuff all backed up at the Los Angeles port. You've got DeSantis out in Florida calling for the ships to come down to Florida. They're ready and rocking and ready to go to take them. So yeah, you've seen shortages. If you've been to the store, you've seen shortages. You've seen the increase in prices. So that's where this next leads to, right? Everybody's talking about inflation and the prices that are increasing. From timcast.com. Dollar Tree to raise prices for the first time in their 35 years of operation. Now, I read some other news articles that were talking about the fact that this has to do with a new partner that came in. Let's see, in a statement about the price hike, the Dollar Tree announced that the change would be permanent. Oh, God. For 35 years, Dollar Tree has managed through inflationary periods to maintain the everything for $1 philosophy that distinguished Dollar Tree and made it one of the most successful retail concepts for 3 decades. The statement asserted, however, as detailed in its September announcement, the company believes this is the appropriate time to shift away from the constraints of the dollar price point in order to continue offering extreme values to customers. This decision is permanent and not a reaction to short-term or transitory market conditions. Does anybody honestly believe that? So, tests have shown customers are willing to pay more, excited about the new products. Strong finish to the quarter. Lifting the $1 constraints represents a monumental step for the organization. We are enthusiastic about the opportunity to meaningfully improve our shoppers' experience and unlock value for our stakeholders. Guided by Dollar Tree's same founding principles, we will be relentless in our commitment to offer our customers the best value prices. As prices of goods continue to rise, wages for the American workers are on the decline. According to a recent report from Breitbart News, bosses paid an average of 0.4% more per hour in October, but prices paid by wage earners rose by 1.1%, pushing down real wages. What's more, because weekly hours fell 0.3%, average weekly earners decreased by 1% after adjusting for inflation. Compared with a year ago, the inflation-adjusted hourly earnings fell 1.1%, and weekly earnings fell 1.4%, but the report continued. So that's that. So they say it's not because of the current issues. Come on, man. If you were able to still get plenty of stuff cheap as hell to be able to sell it for $1 and still make a profit and not have to screw over with your business model, you would have done it. Let's not be stupid here, people. Another one, General Mills to raise prices by 20% in January. Okay. General Mills is planning to raise prices on all of their cereal, snacks, and other foods by 20% in January. The company has notified retailers that the increase will apply to dozens of their brands, including Annie's Progresso, Yoplait, Fruit Roll-Ups, Betty Crocker, Pillsbury, Cheerios, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Lucky Charms, Wheaties, Reese's Puffs, Trix, and more. Are any of those products that you buy? Pretty sure 99% of us all buy at least something from that list. Grocery prices have increased sharp next year. Yeah. According to CNN Business, General Mills is not alone in their plans to hike prices. Other companies have announced increased prices for the next year to include Tyson, Kraft Heinz, Mondelez, Procter & Gamble, Kimberly-Clark, and others. Grocery prices have increased sharply during the pandemic after stagnating from 2015 to 2019. Prices climbed 1% in October from September and were 5.4% higher than at the same time last year, according to the latest data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. That's from a CNN Business report. Okay? So now tell me, in combination with what's going on with these truck drivers, how this is not going to make all of these supply chain issues and all of this inflation so much worse. It's not. It's going to make it's going to make things so much worse. Okay? So you've got the price of inflation going through the roof. And so you've got Dollar Tree changing their prices. You've got General Mills and all of these other companies saying flat out they're going to raise their prices because things have gotten so expensive, right? You've seen the price of gas. So let's get into that. All right, so let's switch over to gas prices because everybody knows the fuel is getting higher too. So this is another one from Timcast. I use Timcast just because they're very reliable and they cite all their sources. Makes it really easy to get information out of them and verify what they're saying. So that's why I like these guys a lot. Plus, they're just all around cool group of people. Biden administration to use strategic petroleum reserves to lower gas prices. The White House will release 50 million barrels of crude oil. Guess how many barrels of oil we use every day? Let's see if they get into it. The White House announced it will release 50 million barrels of crude oil in an effort to lower gas prices. Over the last 18 months, the COVID-19 pandemic forced an unprecedented global economic shutdown. As the world is reopening from a near economic standstill, whose fault was that, government? Countries across the globe are grappling with the challenges that arise as consumer demand for goods outpaces supply. The White House said in a briefing, American consumers are feeling the impact of elevated gas prices at the pump and then they're in home heating bills. Yeah, gas and oil. Gas prices as well as oil and natural gas. And American businesses, too, are, because oil supply has not kept up with demand as the global economy emerges from the pandemic. Yeah, God knows it didn't have anything to do with the fact that you shut down the Keystone Pipeline, you shut down future explorations of oil in the United States. A bunch of people in the stock market assumed, obviously, naturally, that the price of oil was only going to go up, so they bought futures, which drove the price of oil up. That's how this works. By releasing the oil, which is in part of the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, the government hopes to address the mismatch between demand exiting the pandemic and supply. Managed by the department, 32 million barrels will be exchanged over the next several months. This isn't even going to hit you right away. Eventually, the exchanged oil will be returned to the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. The remaining 18 million barrels will be used as part of a sale previously authorized by Congress, which means ain't none of this hitting the market anytime soon. Talks about the price of oil going up. You've seen the gas prices. Okay, it doesn't look like it mentions it in here, but on average, I think we use like 15 or 20 barrels a day. 15 or 20 million barrels a day in the United States just to keep things coming. Somebody fact check me on that if you don't believe me, but I'm 99% sure I'm right. So this 50 million barrels, right, is going to keep us going for what? 2.5 days at the most? Exactly what good is they going to do us? This isn't going to do any good at all. This is just this is pomp and circumstance showing that they're attempting to do something because they know all the rest of everything that they've done has failed miserably by shutting down all of our oil reserves. Do you know last year in December, we were energy independent for the first time in forever? So yeah, 2.5 days. That's literally all releasing this is going to do us good for. Like, it's a total show. It's all a freaking show. So yeah, all of this is only going to make the prices of inflation even worse, right? Truckers are refusing to get the shot. So if the Biden mandates OSHA rule continues to come down and applies to everybody, you're going to lose a whole bunch of truckers. All right, you're going to lose a whole bunch of truckers. You're going to, so that's only going to make the supply chain lines even worse than what they are now. So this is my advice to you. whatever you can get to stock up on canned foods and start growing your own food, start brewing your own beer and your own wine. Whatever you can do to become more independent and get you out of this system is your best path forward. Things are going to be rough for a while, but we will come out the other side, and we'll come out even better. We'll come out even better if we're prepared now. So build you a little garden if you can in your backyard. If you can't, get you a little windowsill one. Grow a few things. Grow some tomatoes, grow little basil, seasonings, whatever you can, whatever space you've got, grow a little bit of something so that at least you've always got something that you're producing yourself. That'll help ease the supply chain lines. That'll also help ease your life as things get tighter. Learn to brew your own beer and wine. It's really easy, especially wine and mead. You get you some water, some fruit juice, and some just some little yeast packets. Might not taste the best in the world, but it'll get the job done. Same thing with canned foods. Stock up on while you can. Supposedly there's an aluminum can shortage coming, or that it's already here. Stock up on canned foods while you can. Bottled water, all of that good stuff. Stock up while you can, and that'll make it so when we do go through the precipice, when we do go through the crucible over the next couple of years, we'll come through it on the other side just fine, and we won't need the government. We won't be crying to the government for more help. So, on to the yellow stars portion of all of this. Oh, sorry. This is just another supply chain issue one. Hold on. This one. I had to use the Wayback Machine because this was behind a paywall. So this is from the Telegraph. This is over in England. Echo of Yahtzee stars in yellow badges for pupils exempt from wearing face masks. Campaigners say police at Farrington School is deeply inappropriate given historic connotations and could stigmatize vulnerable children. A boarding school has come under fire for asking pupils to wear a yellow badge to show they are exempt from using a face mask. Farrington School in Kent, which charges £34,000 per year for boarders, £34,000. Easy math, I think that's like $32,000 or $36,000 a year. I can't remember which way it goes. But yeah, that's like $32,000 a year. Has made it compulsory for children to wear face masks in classrooms and corridors in the rise of COVID-19. In a letter to parents, David Jackson, the school's headmaster, said that pupils who are exempt from wearing masks should wear a yellow badge to indicate this. I swear, these people do not read history at all. Like, all of this stuff is completely glossed over. I don't know how bad the education system is in England as far as teaching history, but it's got to be horrendous. I don't know about you, but I learned about the yellow stars when I was a kid in school. I learned about how the Yahtzees used them. I learned about how all of that stuff went down in Germany. I saw the pictures of the camps. I saw where all this leads. I learned about that history and how he convinced everybody to follow him and do all of these horrible things. How do you not see this, and how does it not disturb you? How does that thought even cross your mind? Yeah, we're gonna make them wear a yellow tag. Really, dude? Did you cut it out in the shape of a star too? Holy crap, man. So that's just civil disobedience. Peaceful civil disobedience is the only way we are going to get out of this. There are protests happening all over the world every single weekend. They have been going on for months. If you have not seen any of those videos, follow me on Twitter. Jesse Carlson, I think it's Jess13861, or hold on, let's look at it real quick. It'll pull up Jess1386. Okay, find me. I retweet all of these things. I keep all of this stuff on there. Okay, all of these videos, we have to hold the line with these people. Peaceful non-compliance is the only way we're going to get out of this. So that's just something I wanted to highlight, how this does not click through these people's heads, that they're literally repeating history. Like Steve Deace always says, history doesn't just repeat itself, it also rhymes. And this is a prime example of it. Holy cow. How that didn't sink through his head, I'll never understand. All right, and now to finish with some sad news. I'll try to see if I can find something happy to end this on, but some sad news. This is from the Federalist. All right, this is one of the shortest. A lot of the articles are really long. This one's kind of a good short one that gives kind of the highlights of what happened at our Christmas Parade Massacre that happened the other night. So far, we're looking at 5 dead, or he's charged with 5 intentional homicides. or vehicular homicides, I believe. Another 8-year-old kid just died in the hospital last night, so I'm sure he will be added to the charges as well. Plus, there's a crap ton of people in the hospital, so God only knows how many of them aren't going to make it. God, pray for them all, let them all make it, but we don't know how many more are going to end up being added to this list. So, suspect charged in a Waukesha tragedy called for violence against white people. So this is going to highlight some of the new information that's come out from this guy. The suspect charged with 5 counts of intentional homicide so far, because there's still people in the hospital, after he drove into the Waukesha, Wisconsin annual Christmas Parade on Sunday, repeatedly called for violence against white people in various social media posts and rap songs. On Facebook post in June of 2020, shortly after the death of George Floyd, 39-year-old Darrell Brooks Jr. said that black people should knock white people the F out. I'm not going to go reading through all of this because a lot of it's in Ebonics, I think, because it's supposed to be rap. Knock 'em at TF out, period. His stage name is Mathboy Fly. In 2015, Brooks also shared a meme asserting that black people are true Hebrews. The graphic titled "Hitler Knew Who the Real Jews Were" claimed that Hitler was right to... This is him saying this, YouTube, okay? Brooks said Hitler was right to exterminate the Jews. Brooks said, and did the world a favor, referring to Hitler. White Jews know that the Negroes are the real children of Israel, the Post claims. Okay, the reason I wanted to bring this story up and the reason I wanted to get to this specific spot in here is because this is exactly the kind of Nation of Islam, Louis Farrakhan, BS, revisionist history garbage that is being taught in black churches and in black communities. This garbage about how the blacks were the original Jews, that all the Jews were false, and that Hitler was right. All of this garbage comes directly out of Louis Farrakhan, the Nation of Islam, and Reverend Jeremiah Wright's churches. That was the reverend that Obama sat in his church pews for 20 years listening to this kind of garbage, listening to this kind of BS historical precedent, and they all believe it. I have literally met somebody I used to work with that mentioned something specifically like this. He didn't say it as explicitly, but he was insinuating the exact same kind of garbage. This history is BS. Read your damn Bible, look at the historical evidence, and look at the way the Jews have been treated throughout history. It's the exact kind of repeat offenses that came straight out of the Bible, whether it be Hitler, whether it be the Europeans, the Catholic Church, anybody else. The Jews have always gotten crapped on because of their burden, And it happens repeatedly, especially when they fall out of line with what God wants them to do. This kind of garbage is taught in our churches, in black churches all over the world. You want to understand what's wrong with the community? You want to understand what's wrong and why these people are so angry? It's because this kind of garbage is taught in their churches. In their churches, this kind of bullshit. It makes me so angry. It's like it's totally contradictory. It's not a positive religion. It's absolute hate and vitriol for no reason, just because somebody's skin color is different. That is not Martin Luther King. That is not I Have a Dream. It's all garbage. So let's see here. Later in a song titled X, Brooks criticizes judges and the American justice system before claiming that black people really built this nation after you stole it from the natives. We're not even going to get into that. That's going to send me into another rant. The Sun reported that some of Brooks' songs claim that he was a terrorist and a killer in the city. Oh, yeah, you got to love FYI, he came around to Martin Luther King's side. If you don't know who that is, that's Malcolm X. I'm showing a picture, Waukesha, and so, the Waukesha terrorist SoundCloud contains extreme anti-white, anti-cop, anti-Trump sentiments. Watch on Twitter. I'm assuming that's one of his music videos. All right, here we go. This is some of the more of the details of the case. We'll finish this up and then try to find something positive to talk about. At least 6 people, including 8-year-old Jackson Sparks, died and dozens were injured on Sunday after Brooks reportedly drove his red SUV through the crowd of performers and bystanders at the town's Christmas parade. Graphic videos of the event show the vehicle allegedly driven by Brooks running over marchers, dancers, and parade attendees. The criminal complaint alleges this was an intentional act to strike and hurt as many people as possible. Brooks was later arrested on the front porch of a stranger's house, where he pounded on the front door and said he was waiting for an Uber. I called an Uber and I'm supposed to be waiting for it over here, but I don't know when it's coming. Can you call for me, please? Brooks has a lengthy rap sheet and has just posted bond a few days before the parade. Okay, that's the only other thing I wanted to go through when it comes to this case with Brooks, with Daryl Brooks. And this little page, the reason why I like this one was Hot Air. Wait, not that one. The next one. Hot Air goes into a lot more of the complaints too. This one's 5 facts. Okay, this is not fast, or, well, it's 5 facts, but it's not 5 fast facts. So we're going to go through this real quick. Heavy. They've got links to all of their stuff. I'm going to leave links to all of these articles in my own pages. Every see one of these little highlights here where it says there's a blue underscore, that's a link you can click that references to what they're saying and what they're referencing to. So all of these websites are referenced. They're all really good about this. So let's just go through the list real quick before we get out of here. Number 1, a red SUV is seen in a rap music video recorded by Brooks, and he posted about the Kyle Rittenhouse verdict on Facebook. Okay, there you go. There's a picture from the rap video right there. Oh, mysterious red video. We're not going to go through all of this because, like I said, it's a lot. We're just going to go through the highlights. Number 2, Brooks is accused of trying to run a woman over in an open felony case in Wisconsin and is a convicted sex offender in Nevada. Okay, I believe the open felony case they're talking about here is the one that he was just released on bond for. So literally, he's got a history of trying to run people over with his vehicle. Weird. So anyway, let's see. Let's get down to number 3 here. Oh, yeah, and the sex offender, I believe he actually impregnated a 16-year-old girl in Nevada. If that wasn't here in Nevada, I know it wasn't. It was somewhere else that he was living. But yeah, my understanding is he actually impregnated a 16-year-old girl. Because he talks about it in an interview with somebody. Oh, look, weed, cannabis, got caught. Oh, yeah, lengthy Wisconsin history. Oh, God. Brooks' prior convictions include bail jumping, marijuana possession, obstructing an officer, marijuana possession, and substantial battery. Damn, he's had that going all the way back to 99. All right, so where's the next highlight? There we go. Brooks calls himself a rapper and a stoner. He posted anti-police rhetoric on social media. I think that's pretty obvious from what we've already seen in his things. She commented on the Chauvin case. Once more, a paranoid black man, afraid everyone's going to shoot him and kill him because he doesn't actually know the statistics on anything, and the media keeps lying to him. Sometimes he gets political. We're not going to read that. It's inappropriate. He also posted a Photoshop fake image of former Republican Governor Scott Walker as a Nazi. Beware violent streets. Yeah, this is more of the propaganda from cops. Come on, where's number 4? See, that's why I wasn't going to read this article. It's freaking long. They go through in detail. Well, they give all the evidence, you know what I mean, for everything they're saying. So that's always good. So I'm going to definitely leave a link in the description in this one. Police say 60 injured people, including 18 children, were taken to hospitals. He knocked out 60 people. And let's get all the way down to number 5. This is showing video of the whole incident. More videos from it from different angles, lots of different reports, lots of good information in here. Yeah, if you guys want to look more into this case, this looks like a great article to check it out. And number 5, a man described how the SUV came a foot from his son, saying they have a whole block of Main Street that is casualties. That's freaking tragic, guys. I mean, absolutely, absolutely tragic. I mean, it's horrible, the kind of things that are happening in this world right now. I mean, and so much of it is driven from the media and them lying and them feeding this narrative that, you know, everybody's out to get you and all of these people are going to come and kill you. And I mean, it's really sad. You know, it is. It's sad and it's tragic because events like this don't have to happen. But the media peddles this narrative that, you know, all of these cops are out there hunting down black people. You know, it feeds them this mentality that they think they're more likely to get shot by a cop than they are another black person or just another person in their neighborhood, in their hood. You know, but the statistics just don't balance it out. I think my understanding is the last time I looked them up, you are twice as likely to get struck by lightning as a black man than you are to get shot by a cop. And I think it's going the other way around. I think you're more than twice as likely to get struck by lightning as opposed to the statistics compared to you getting shot by another 18-year-old black male. It's freaking ridiculous. And this comes from somebody who, any of you have been listening to me for a while know, my best friend, my brother, who I call brother, is black. My brother, my family, and my little sister is half black. You know, and they know that. Well, my brother knows that. That's why he got the hell out of Memphis. That's why he lives here in Texas with me. You know, because he knew how bad things were out there. He knew how bad the community and how bad the culture was. It just makes you sad. You know, this guy believed all of these hateful lies. You know, it goes back to the old Reagan saying, it's not that they're stupid, it's they believe so much stuff that's not true. And that's exactly what it is when it comes to the Democrats, when it comes to these violent criminals, with this mass freaking murder we had in a Christmas Day parade. Like, that's exactly what it comes down to. They have been fed so many lies and they have been fed so much disinformation that they are angry and hateful for no reason, for things that they don't understand, for reasons they don't know. You know, because of lies that they've been fed. So that's what we're out here doing. That's why this channel exists. That's why I go and do all the things I do. That's why I post on all the social medias, to try to get the truth out there. To make one less angry person for no reason. You know, trust me, there's plenty in this world to be angry about. You know, giant banking conglomerations coordinating against you, the Great Reset, George Soros, Bill Gates, you know, Joe Biden. Let's go, Brandon. You know, I mean, there's, you know, the FBI corruption, all of the corruption going on inside of the government. There's plenty of reasons to be angry, and there's plenty of ways to do stuff to help fix it. But being fed lies like this to be made so angry about for no reason, you know, over the Kyle Rittenhouse trial or over, you know, any of the rest of this, you know, it's just maddening. It's really sad. It's disheartening. So, before I leave you and we go off into Thanksgiving, which that's when I'm recording this, whether you watch it then or not, is the day before Thanksgiving, I want to wish all of you a very happy Thanksgiving. And I want to leave you with some hope, okay? Not just all this negativity out there in the world. Remember the protests that are going on all across the rest of the world. Australia, Europe, the Netherlands, all of these places, okay? Remember those people in your prayers today at Thanksgiving. And ask the Lord to give them courage and give them strength to continue on. We must hold this line. The answer to all of this is us. The only way out of this is through, and the only way we're going to get through this is for we the people, for us to stand up and do something about this. And that's what you see going on. You see the protests in New York, you know, against the vax mandates, against the lockdowns. Keep those people in your thoughts and prayers. There is positivity out there. Things are changing. Look at what happened in Virginia. Look how much things changed in New Jersey. Look how close that governor's race was in New Jersey. You know, we've got them on the ropes. They are running scared right now, which is why you see what cults always do. When things are questioned, when facts are presented to them, they double down on all of this cult stuff. That's why it's so hard to get people out of a cult. So just remember, be kind. If you've got family members that are in the cult that you're going to see at Thanksgiving, whether it be the COVID cult or any of the rest of the Spirit of Age, progressive, Black Lives Matter, all the rest of that garbage, okay? Remember this when you go to instruct them or when you go to talk to them. Love thy neighbor, but do not lie. Do not lie to them. Do not placate them. Do not just, yeah, whatever you say. That's not loving your neighbor. That's not loving your family members. Loving your neighbor as you love yourself means to treat them the way you would want to be treated. You remember that old adage from when we were kids? All right? Would you want the people around you who claim to be your family and your loved ones to constantly lie to you and let you just go on believing something that wasn't true? Would you want that? Is that kindness? Is that loving? No, it's not. You spread the truth. You give them information. You give them facts. You give that to them in a non-confrontational manner. You ask them questions. Bring them to the conclusions on your own. Word your questions properly. Don't treat it as an argument. Treat it as a fact-finding mission. And help prompt them with questions to help them find the same facts that you and I have found. The same information we've found. Ask them simple questions. You know, make it to where, you know, if they bring up masks or if they bring up the shot or if they bring up, you know, any of this Black Lives Matter stuff, ask them, you know. Well, ask them, hey, have you seen the numbers out of England? Do you know how that's going over there with them? I heard they're super vaccinated. Have you heard how well they're doing? and let them look it up themselves. Let them find themselves or help them find it. Look at it together. Same thing. Hey, man, did they start bringing up the Kenosha? They bring up, well, hey, did you watch the trial? Did you see it? Did you see the witness testimony? Make it a question situation. You're going to get way better results asking them questions than trying to confront them with the hard facts. Let them think. God gave them a mind to think and reason. And if you engage it, if you click that little switch, you'll be surprised how much farther you're going to get with them. So I'll leave it at that. Love your family. Love your neighbors. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. And always remember, love thy neighbor, but do not lie. This is Jesse with the Common Man, Corpus Christi, bringing you news and politics through a common sense lens. Happy Thanksgiving, guys. We'll see you next time.